box, there's a little lock button. At least on mine there is when I'm recording, and you can click on that to lock or unlock the scrolling so you can go all the way back.
Yeah,
check that out.
All right, well. Hey, everyone. Gamehounds, Happy Endings, episode 26. We actually, if you go into our Spreaker page right now, you will see that there is a Gamehounds episode there. This week we decided to do a regular Gamehounds pre-recorded show as on Spreaker because I have not had time to, given all the things that are going on in my life, to edit shows after we record them pre-recorded. So I decided to test out Spreaker as doing a regular Gamehounds show. So if you want to get the early Gamehounds episode, you can go to our Spreaker iTunes Happy Endings, even though it will say Gamehounds episode 236. That's going to be our regular 236 that we'll upload to our server to go on regular Gamehounds later. So, yeah. So
here we are.
Here we are. so yeah. Let's see. We did not get through our news stuff. We had talked about PAX East tickets. If you have not bought your PAX East tickets, you need to do that right now. 3-day passes went on sale. Actually, all passes went on sale at 9 o'clock this morning. 3-day passes are already sold out. They were sold out within the first half hour. I saw a notice on Facebook from PAX East. God, what was it? It's like the head of PAX East. I'm pulling it up right now on my iPhone. But it was a message from the big head honcho at PAX East, or PAX, that says that I guess people have gone on and done massive bulk purchases of the 3-day passes, and they're now on eBay for an exorbitant amount, and they are in the process of canceling those orders so that those people will not have PAX East tickets. So yeah, don't worry your pretty little heads.
Oh, good. Yeah, that sucks when they start scalping those.
Yeah, it happens in all of these big events. Burning Man has the same issue with people that go and buy a bunch of tickets, and they've got a pretty good system at Burning Man to keep people from scalping tickets because, of course, the whole point is not to do commerce. So they are very proactive.
Well, does that apply before the show starts? Because if you're scalping, I assume you're scalping before it's going on.
Yeah. At Burning Man, what they do is they will do their best to find out if someone's selling a ticket for an exorbitant amount anywhere in public. They will find out what the serial number on that cartridge. Each ticket is individually numbered. They'll find out what the number is. The serial number of that particular ticket, and they will invalidate the ticket. So here's the message from PAX East boss Robert Koo, who wrote, "For those complaining about the eBay passes, etc., don't sweat it too much. We end up going through and canceling all bulk purchases manually afterward. They've got the cart before the horse for sure on that one." Not exactly sure what that means, but yeah, don't buy your ticket. If you can't get a 3-day pass, don't go to eBay and buy it right now. Because people that have done bulk purchases of massive amounts of these tickets are not going to have those tickets like they think they do.
Good.
Although they could still sell them.
They can still sell them. Yeah, it's a caveat emptor.
Yeah.
So, here's that lock thing that you were mentioning. Good to know. But the thing that I'm having now is I'm trying to get rooms, and the room, I'm not going to get...
I just sent you an email to Gmail, gamehounds@gmail.com. Check it out.
Okay. I'm trying to get the servers for OnPeak, which is the official housing partner for all PAX events. They're the ones that help disseminate all of the hotel rooms and let people register through the website to get hotel rooms at a convention price. Those servers are down big time, so nobody can get any rooms right now. I know that at 9 o'clock this morning, I woke up and started immediately going to that site, and it was getting just denial of service because it was just getting hammered so badly. But the rooms, the hotels that are closest to the PAX, I guess it's the water. One of them is the Waterfront, and the other one is the Westin. The Westin's actually attached to the convention center, and that thing is absolutely full because it's all exhibitors.
Same thing, really.
They're all exhibitors and enforcers, and those two hotels have been reserved by the PAX organization for just exhibitors and enforcers. So if you're not an exhibitor or enforcer, you're not getting in the two closest hotels, which has a lot of people very upset because a lot of people have been very used to being able to walk very close. In fact, I was talking to Kropotkin from Super Happy Fun Time Show, and he says, if I have to stay at somewhere 5 miles away, screw it, I'm not going.
Yeah, we were pretty far away for the last PAX. Enough that we couldn't walk there. We definitely had to take a cab. And
Yeah.
what was it, $10 or $15 each way? I was like, boy, I tell you. So basically, once you go there, you're there. There's no walking there from where we were.
Right. Which, you got to do what you got to do in order to cover PAX. But, yeah, it was a bit of a drag that we had to go get and I was hoping that we would have a lot of people to share. And that may be the case now that so many people are being forced farther and farther away from the convention center. There's going to be a lot of opportunities for sharing a cab ride. But then again, if you share a cab ride, you're kind of dependent upon other people to be there as well. It's hard enough to get the three of us out of the hotel room in enough time to get down to the exhibition hall. So it's PAX is its own challenge. It's its own don't starve survival game.
Yeah, actually, I looked more into that. It's actually like a third-person linear adventure, kind of like Slender.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Piss Boy says in the chat room they are sold out. Actually, let me see where they are right now, because getting a server is not going to help me just pounding on an empty server. PAXsite.com if you're interested in that. Looking at it. Registration, it looks like Saturdays, 3 days are sold out. Friday is available, Saturday is low, Sunday is available. So you can buy them as 3 different days, which will be which would be like a $45 discount. So if you want to spend $40 for each day right now, you can grab those and be sure to get them. But if you want the 3-day pass, which is a $75 ticket, those are sold out. But like I said, a lot of people, looks like enough scalpers went on and just bulk bought tons of them. So those are all theoretically going to be manually canceled in coming days. And those will become available, I'm hoping, later on. And I'd love to be able to get a hold of somebody at PAX to be able to confirm that and how the process is going to go.
I wonder at what point PAX will become like Comic-Con, where it just gets too big and you're like, fuck it, it's just too much of a hassle to try and go to.
It's getting real close, especially Boston. And I really, really love PAX East. Really love PAX East. But in Boston, the only convention center that's big enough to hold PAX is out in surprisingly, Boston actually has a hinterland. And it's at an area that was recently developed for the convention center. So it's still in the process of being developed. There's still a lot of construction going on. And there's not a lot of hotels that are right close to it. Not like the original convention center for PAX East, which was too small, which was the one downtown, which was a clusterfuck of the first order. Oh, my God. It was impossible. But there was a mall there which had a food court. There were tons and tons and tons of hotels, so there was no shortage of that. But it wasn't a big enough convention center, and it screwed up traffic in downtown Boston beyond what it normally is. So they had to move it out to the new place out in the edges of Boston in an area that I guess used to be industrial or waterfront or just kind of docks.
Yeah, it's kind of out there. But, I mean, the good news is that compared to the first year it was there to the second year it was there, there's a lot more things out there.
Yeah.
More hotels, there's more restaurants. if you walk across the street, it's a walk. I mean, don't get me wrong. But if you walked across the street, there was restaurants there, whereas before you really had to.
The first year there was nothing out there.
Yeah, that was not well thought out.
Yeah, well, it was. It's a
I'm hoping
developing area.
I'm hoping this year is going to be even better. I'm kind of hoping there's something really close by.
Yeah. Well.
Oh, Jason Webb. Yeah, we. The Keg of Scorpion Bowl. Oh yeah, we go to the Kowloon. And we load up on Scorpion Bowl.
Yep, that's the annual Game Hounds appreciation party. Is me buying dinner for everybody at Kowloon, and it's awesome. Love it. Yeah, that's where we usually get at least some good pictures, especially of Nick and Lefty, usually tonguing.
Yeah, that's.
So we get to renew a once a year affair.
Yeah, that's a good time.
Yeah. Kind of creepy, actually.
Yeah, it is, but it's awesome creepy.
It's awesome creepy.
I didn't know that was a thing.
It's wicked creepy. So we didn't hit all of our news, and so we thought, let's just bring it over here. The news that I didn't hit, that you and I, that Nick and I both brought to the table, and it was a big topic, so that's why we kind of moved it over here, was what happened with a developer, probably the most famous, the most listened to video critic on YouTube of video games. And that's someone that's known as Total Biscuit, who has a YouTube channel. He does video game reviews, fantastic, really, really good reviews. I've listened to his stuff before. And he did a review of an indie game called Day One Gary's Incident, where he called, actually as an example, he said it was so bad that his quote that somebody else used on it, used about it was, "Screw everything about this game." That it was a horrendous review. Just called out the game, just called it essentially a gigantic piece of shit. And the developer, Wild Games, went to YouTube, and because he had shown, which he always does on his YouTube channel, gameplay footage, like Let's Play will do that. It's not that hard. Lots of people will do that. But Wild Games went to YouTube and complained to YouTube based on its was a copyright infringement, and had that review removed.
Yeah,
and so it's not the first time, especially that smaller independent developers have done that. One, I can't remember the name of it specifically, but it was mentioned in context to this censorship, was that they specifically went after everybody that had a review and had it removed so that they would have a higher hit count, and would show as it would affect.
I think you're talking about Sega.
Yeah, but that's right. Sega did that.
Total Biscuit put up a video explaining all of this.
Explaining why. Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah,
actually, that video is getting also killed. That explaining that how it went through, and it point by point, showing emails that he had received from the CEO of Wild Games.
Like he sent the developers an email saying, "Hey, can I have a review copy of your game to feature on the website?" And the guy said, "Okay, here's a review copy. Here's a review code, a Steam key."
In that email, he said, "By the way, here I am. I'm Total Biscuit. Here's my show. These are the links to my show. That you could see what I do. And I have ads on my point because he has 1.3 million listeners or viewers.
Yeah,
so.
And the ads were the sticking point, because when they got the takedown notice, the reason given was that I think the line in the email, or the line in the description was like, Total Biscuit has no right to make money off our intellectual property or something like that. And so Biscuit said, no, that's not true, because, this is the website. This is what all game sites do. All game sites take reviews and put up video of it, and they have ads and they make money off of it. It's not unusual in this business or any business. And he looked at other YouTube videos that had ads on them of this video, and he said, these aren't taken down, so why me? Likely because I was one of the harshest and most viewed videos.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why they targeted him. And he brought up the example of Sega, which I guess put out a DMC takedown notice for all videos on YouTube for this one of the games called like Shining Force 2. And they did that simply because they wanted their trailer for Shining Force 2 to be the top of the search results. So they put out the DMC takedown to every video that had more views than their trailer, regardless of whether it was a positive video or negative video. And that was one of his examples of how this takedown system is rampantly abused.
Right. So, yeah. And he also brought up that this developer Wild Games this isn't like the first time that they've done shady things, pointing out that they were originally a Kickstarter. Pardon me. They were originally a Kickstarter game. And when they opened their Kickstarter, the reason that they made their Kickstarter amount is that in the first day, at least in the first day.
I don't think they made it. I don't think it was a successful Kickstarter.
It wasn't successful?
I don't think so.
Okay, because the CEO of the company made a $10,000 donation to his own Kickstarter, which violates, if not specifically the rules of Kickstarter, it certainly violates the spirit of Kickstarter. Is that you don't put something on Kickstarter and then put your own money into it.
Well, maybe not at the beginning, but
push it
at
over
the end,
yeah.
I feel like if you have $1,000 left to go to succeed, you are going to put in that $1,000 yourself because
sure, I'm okay with that. Maybe if they had a stipulation that said, on the final day you could put in up to 10% of what you asked for or something,
Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, he did it on the first day.
It was certainly weird because he had a chart from like a site that tracks Kickstarter donations for Kickstarters, and it's a weird chart because it's like this huge burst in the beginning and then like nothing, and then negative on some days.
How do you get negative Kickstarter?
Because some people canceled theirs.
Oh, God.
Oh.
Wow, I didn't. That's when I saw that video. I'm like, how do you get a negative Kickstarter? But yeah, I guess people just removed their money. And then what was the other thing that was kind of creepy about?
It was Metacritic.
Oh.
It was like there's 12 reviews on Metacritic, and all of them are like real effusive and like, oh yeah, sure, the game has bugs, but it's also really, really great and really fun and super this and super that. And he's like, those don't match with anything anyone else has said about this game.
Right. So yeah, Wild Games. Oh, I know what it was. Steam. Because they were on Steam Greenlight. And
yeah.
They had made a promise when it was on the Greenlight voting that everybody who voted for it would get a free copy of the game. Which I'm surprised that Steam allows that.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, that's essentially bribing people to get them to vote for you. Because, what do you care? You'll just vote for it anyway, because if it makes it, then you get a free game.
Yeah, it's like letting people in the country, giving them free stuff and having them vote for you. That's exactly what it's like.
Yeah, yes, it is.
How do these guys keep getting reelected?
Well, yeah, it's like saying, but it's like going to a foreign country and says everybody who votes for me will get into the country for free and we'll give you free stuff. It's bribery.
Yeah.
So it's not a true
Santa Claus. It's Santa Claus.
Right.
Everyone votes for Santa Claus.
I don't. Fuck Santa.
So yeah. So big, huge kerfluffle, to say the least.
A kerfluffle.
I said it.
What the hell is a kerfluffle?
You're seeing
it.
It
sounds like a French dessert. Yes, I'd like a kerfuffle, please.
I'm going to invent a dessert, and I'm going to call it a kerfluffle after you.
Isn't that's already something? How can it not already be something?
Okay, I am Google searching.
You always throw these big kind of fancy college.
I don't know.
Words
I've
at
heard of
us.
kerfluffle. Kerfluffle is not a fancy college word. Kerfluffle was like, I don't know, the word used in the 40s,
It's going
50s,
in that book
20s.
thing again.
I don't
What's
know.
that book you used? Oh, the dictionary. Using that dictionary.
That
thing.
book you use. Yeah, that thing.
That thing with the words and the words that describe the other words.
It doesn't have any pitches.
All right, here's the definition of a kerfluffle: a commotion or fuss, especially one caused by conflicting views. The origin is originally Scottish Gaelic car, which means twist or bend, and English fluffle, which means to disorder. So it came from car fluffle.
I am so using that as much as I can.
And it originated in the early 19th century. There you go. So it was in the 1800s that a kerfluffle came about.
Yeah, big time kerfluffle going on.
Okay, so has an update to the Total Biscuit thing.
Yes.
I guess the developer did remove the copyright claim from his account.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh,
they did
yeah,
put out
that's
a
the
thing that said,
thing.
oh, I'm sorry, we're sorry.
That's the thing about these being removed from their accounts, is that any owner of a YouTube channel, if they get 3 complaints of copyright violation, then their accounts are banned and they're shut down. And it was Total Biscuit that noted that in that whole Sega thing about all these things being taken down so that they could have their trailer be the highest, the first to appear and the hit in YouTube, that Total Biscuit has a network. He's big. He has the ability and the resources to be able to fight someone like Sega to go back and say, hey, that's not copyright abuse, and get that strike against them removed. But a lot of the smaller guys don't have the resources to be able to do it. And he said that to this day, there are still channels that are shut down and continue to be shut down because Sega did that.
Mm-hmm.
Which is horrible, because it'd be one thing. It's like, you get it taken down. Fuck, who cares? But you do care, because if it happens to you 3 times, your show is dead. It's dead to me.
Well, not your show, your channel.
Your channel is dead.
That
Exactly.
That could include multiple shows.
Right. Exactly. So it's a horrible, horrible thing. You were doing possibly irreparable damage to these outlets, who are not always, who even if people listen to them, they are not, most of them are like us, not making any money. If somebody shut down our website, it would devastate me. And I don't know that we would have, I might have the resources to be able to get it back up, but I'm constantly in fear of somebody taking it away from me. It's like, it's essentially holding you hostage because you didn't like somebody's game, or that they, not even that you didn't like their game, that because some huge corporation wanted their video to be higher in the search results than yours, so they remove yours. It's horrible. So I'm really glad that Total Biscuit brought this up, and it's nice to have somebody who has enough, mojo behind him to be able to get this out. Had this happened to somebody like us, no one would give a shit. But they did it to somebody like Total Biscuit, who's got 1.3 million subscribers and enough attention of the mainstream media to actually make it out there, so that Wild Games might actually realize they fucked up and bit off more than they could chew. But if they're biting
That's kind of the ironic thing, is that they target the highest viewed video, because obviously that's the highest viewed video. But the highest viewed video is also the most popular and is the most watched. And so if something bad happens to it, more people know and it gets out.
Yeah. So I wonder how much of this has actually sold day one. Gary's game.
Why on earth would anyone buy it when the controversy surrounds how awful it is?
I know. Well, how many people bought Aliens Colonial Marines just to see how many times have we told Goalie to make sure that he keeps playing Aliens Colonial Marines because we want to find out how bad it is. It's like a car wreck. Everybody slows down.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious to know how bad this game is now.
If it did increase sales by any amount, I doubt it's enough to actually make it profitable.
Yeah. Well, let's hope not. I have the point of just because you can do something doesn't mean you should do it. And when you violate the spirit of fair play, that really bothers me, especially with gamers, because let's face it, that's what we live on, fair play. It's all about fair play for us.
Yeah, and that stinks when that's
Probably more so than any other segment of the population, because we are gamers. If we have a game that is constantly changing the rules or screwing us over, then we won't do it.
It's also like being bullied because, it's one of these things like if you ever try to advertise on the internet or on Google or whatever, and you can put in bids. Well, obviously the big companies, the major, huge companies have more money. They can outbid everybody and take all the best spots. Whereas if I'm trying to advertise a hockey thing, well, who's going to outbid me? The NHL? Of course they are. So you hate getting pushed aside because you're the little guy, by the big guy who has the money. And that's kind of feels like what's going on here. The big guy comes in and says, oh, well, this guy's going to have more views than us, so we got to take that down,
Right.
Kind of sucks.
What other news did you have, Nick? Because I didn't have anything other than
that. The Wii has officially been discontinued. Apparently, though, just in Japan.
So this little piggy went
hearing that.
Wee all the way home.
Yep. Well, no, it can't. It's not going home.
It can't go home.
Wee all the way to his neighbor's house across the ocean because nobody wants him in his home.
They huffed and they puffed and they blew his house down.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Wii it's going the way of the Sega Saturn and everything else.
So it's kind of weird to think of like, oh wow, this generation is ending, but wait, it's not technically over yet. But I guess it is kind of
going the way of the cassette.
Yeah.
Yep. Although you know what, the Wii is still. It's more still popular going than any other console.
Yeah, I know.
Currently.
It's the happy console.
More popular meaning that more people have it in their homes, or more popular because more people are buying it at this point.
More popular because more people bought it and not using it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. But hey, they bought it.
It's kind of like Bill Clinton's book. Everybody bought it, said they bought it. No one read it.
I'm looking at mine sitting in a box behind my couch right now. I could see it.
What, the Bill Clinton book or the Wii?
The Wii.
They're stacked on top of each other.
Yeah.
Did you see there was
they're used to balance out the couch.
A picture on Facebook today. It was hilarious. It says, the new government healthcare software arrived. It was a 5.1 floppy disk. 5.25 floppy disk. The software arrived. That was funny, I thought. Oh, man. Hey, more developments coming across the news here about that teacher that was killed. If anybody in the chat room is wondering about the teacher that was stabbed here in Massachusetts and how close it was to me, it was my high school that this happened in. And what's creepy, what's really creeped me out about this, they have video of the teacher going into the bathroom and video this kid going into the bathroom right after her. Now, there was no cameras in that school when I was there. So obviously this is something new. There's cameras in high schools now. It's kind of creepy that everything's on film now. You can't even be in school without that. But, so this poor teacher was stabbed to death and dragged out into the woods that I used to walk through to go to school. 14 years old.
I know.
What drives you to kill somebody at 14 years old?
Video games. I don't know. 14 years old, a lot can happen to you, especially in
I know you
major city.
It's puberty and things are happening, and you crazy, especially girls. Girls are out of their minds in their teenage years. It kind of blame them. It's whatever, but. These kids that are going on shooting in schools and stabbing people, it's like, what? They don't get their way or they're looking for attention? What is it,
Black Sphere Void is asking, when did that happen?
Yesterday? Yeah. There was what was really kind of weird is that all over Facebook on that town channel, there was like missing kid. We're looking for this missing 14-year-old. We can't find him. And late last night, it's like, we found him at like 12:30 in the morning. Good. He's safe and sound. And then we get up this morning and it's like, there's a missing persons report for a teacher. And we found her too, except we found her body in the woods. So,
now we're really looking for I guess they'd already found the kids.
Yeah.
We got an email last week from Sean Cullen.
Oh.
In Sheridan, Wyoming, who said, "Dear Game Hounds, I heard about the study behind this from an episode of an 80s Picture House podcast in which scientists were studying how farmers back in the 1930s New Zealand were afflicted with their pants combusting spontaneously. When it mentioned sodium chlorate being an oxidizing agent, I immediately thought of what you had said about linseed oil, so here I am writing this email."
Oh, wow.
About the oily rags spontaneously.
Nice that somebody actually listens and pays attention to our shows.
What?
Go back to sleep.
Here's the link to the Wikipedia page, and I've got it here about exploding trousers. Yes, there is a Wikipedia page called Exploding Trousers. And he says, still loving the both the main show and happy endings, by the way. Sean Cullen. Thank you, dear. So I didn't read it on the last episode because the regular episode didn't have time because somebody was talking about Grand Theft Auto too much. Nick.
What? I wasn't talking about that much.
I was, actually. It was me. I have to shut up about that. So, speaking of Grand Theft, I put this out on the show, but I'll also put it out here for you guys. And I'm a little reticent to say it out loud because I'm afraid that Rockstar might send a hit squad after me.
Might send a kerfluffle after?
Yes, I might get kerfluffled by Rockstar. There is a way that is, I wouldn't call it a bug, I would say it's an exploit to make tons of money in Grand Theft Auto, the online. If you do a job with someone and they bring you arrive into the job, they've got their car, you've got your car. If they have a very high end car, just go and trick it out with just crap tons of stuff. Like go steal a baller, trick it out with armor and suspension and everything, paint job, hood, skirts, spoiler, the whole 9 yards. If you want to sell that car, you would get many thousands of dollars. What happens is that when you go into a job, if you are in a vehicle, when the job ends, you will be transported back to your regular free play server, still driving that vehicle. So what you will do is you will get into somebody else's high-end owned car. You just switch cars. Like Nick will get in my car, I'll get in Nick's car. Nick will go turn in the mission. At the end of the mission, I'll be driving it. It'll just say, mission passed, tell me how much I get. Then it transports me back to my server. I will be driving a duplicate of Nick's car. I then take Nick's car out to Los Santos Custom and sell it. And like Chaos, we've all kind of duped the same car, so we all have the same car. So we can all just, like I go in with Hawk and Chaos and me, and we all just all switch into somebody else's car. And then we will all get individual cars that are duplicates of our own car. We can go sell it without losing our car. And my car, I think, sells for $68,000. So you can make $68,000 an hour, which is, 4 hours, you can have more than enough to buy a high-end apartment. Jaeger points out that Pokemon XY sold 4 million in 2 days. I've been seeing so many say it. Piss Boy says, don't say it! Don't say it! Too late. I said it. Can't be taken back. Kevin Bulwer says, you will get banned. Rockstar has already isolated everyone who did it and characters are made to wear dunce caps. I don't know.
That would actually be kind of cool.
That would be awesome. But I'll tell you that if Rockstar doesn't like it, then Rockstar needs to open up its online shop to buy money because they make it nearly freaking impossible to get past the $80,000 mark. And every time that you find a way to actually start being efficient with your time, they nerf it. in order so that it's harder and harder to get cash so that you have to buy the money, which is, okay, all right, I'm not crazy about it, but that's fine. But their store isn't open. If they're going to nerf stuff, they need to have the store available so we can have the option of getting it the right way instead of being sitting around trying to make enough money to get a house just so we can have more than one car. Either that or lower the prices of the houses. Bottom line. They have created a broken economy. We are only trying to do our best to play the game to a point where we can actually start enjoying it, because they've made it impossible to get a house without spending 70, 80 hours. I'm not going to devote 70 or 80 hours into trying to get it.
I don't think opening up the shop will really fix that, because then you'd have to pay even more.
Right. You know what? Honestly,
pay money to it.
Right.
And that's not.
There's always been this option when you have microtransactions of you either invest time or you invest cash. I don't have 80 hours to invest time into the game, but I want to play it, and I want to play it with my friends. So I will pay cash.
I think that's fine to do. It's just that it helps. It's kind of important if you're going to do time of cash, that the time you spend with it be enjoyable, and the time you spend with a lot of GTA Online isn't enjoyable. Some of it is.
A lot of it is. And
a lot of it isn't.
A lot of it isn't. And the stuff that you do that is the most enjoyable are stuff that costs you money.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's just, I never got anywhere, and then I'm looking at how long it's going to take me to buy a pack of gum or something. It's like,
right.
Get it.
Like, in order to enjoy yourself in that game, you have to buy armor, you have to buy bullets, and you have to take a chance on getting yourself killed. All three of those things cost you so much money that like I said last week, I spent a full day doing nothing but playing because I was sick. I did nothing but play that game all day long from the moment I woke up until 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning when I went to bed. So it was probably 14 hours of straight gameplay, and I ended up $10,000 down because I had a half an hour of fun at the end of my night. That shouldn't happen. And that was the most fun. That last half hour was the most fun that I'd had. But I had to die a few times because we were dorking around, and we died. So if you're going to make having something that's having fun other than standing around waiting for people to kind of come into your lobby and race, or standing around and come into your lobby to do a mission, which is a lot of that game, then don't penalize us for trying to have fun in the meantime. And that's what they're doing. At least don't penalize us in such a way that there's no recourse. Simply opening the store would help a lot, because at least it's like, all right, I fucked around. All right, I'll spend $6 and get all my money back. That's fine. But they've done all these things so you are slowly bleeding cash in order to play the game. But in order to make the cash back, they've made it so difficult because they want you to buy the cash, but you can't buy the cash. It's a broken fucking economy. That's my rant.
So I should not play this game.
Oh, you definitely shouldn't play this game. Oh, no.
Who was I? I was playing, like I say, I've been playing a lot of that Diablo. First, I want to shout out to everybody playing with me because I've had a blast. Steeler Gang and Snow Dog and Chaos, and Chaos's brother Tien's been playing with us. Sly7 jumped in and played some Diablo. I think Stormtrooper Ray and his gang played with me. Having a blast with that. So, yeah, big shout-out to everybody there. But I was talking to, who was it? It must have been Chaos. He jumped in, and we were just chatting, as you do when you play. And, yeah, he's telling me the same thing. Just do not go back to GTA 5. We were talking, it was kind of like if you go to, everybody recommends this restaurant, and you go in there, and, like, the waitress is having a bad day, and the food's cold, and you complain to the manager, and he just doesn't care. And it's just, everything was just a bad experience with me with that game. And it just could have been just how it all happened, you know. But it just was, everything just fell apart for me in that game. And you guys, at least you guys, I'm comforted. I'm what's that word again? Waffle something?
Kerfluffled?
Kerfluffle?
Yeah, I'm kerfluffled with the fact that you guys are having some of the same issues that I did, as far as a lot of nothing and then a little bit of fun, which is what I was going through. Except I never found the fun. I never found the end of that rainbow.
Yeah,
all I got was the rain. I never found the rainbow or the pot of gold. Just
like I said, I'm still really enjoying the single player.
You're a dick, so nobody likes you. Just saying.
That's true. I have to hide in Grand Theft Auto. My only friends are there.
So it was funny talking to Chaos. He's like, yeah, he goes, if you haven't liked it by now, it's not going to change.
No. And it's there's enough really annoying stuff. Like example of broken economy, that you need $205,000 minimum to buy an apartment that will allow you to do heists, which are not even open
do we
yet.
Actually know that?
Yes.
Because that's something that Creation Chaos said.
Yes, and it makes sense because in the $205,000 and up apartments, there is a room that is clearly like a room that's a planning room, like when you in the regular campaign, like with putting things up on the wall, the plan for the heist. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's a heist room. Because if you don't have that place, then there is no place to put up a heist option. Actually plan the heist. So it makes sense that when it's open, you go into that room and then it'll say, do you want to start a heist?
Okay.
So, yeah, I have no confirmation other than being told that by Chaos, but I would believe it. It makes sense. But either way, heists aren't even open yet. So to get the apartment, it's $205,000 minimum, up to like $450,000, which is fine. It is a lot of work to get up to around $80,000, and then things start to slow down. It gets harder and harder and harder to keep going up. A sniper rifle, to buy a sniper rifle, and that's the only way you can get it and make sure that you always have it, is to buy it, is $20,000. You can, in order to resupply myself entirely with ammo the other day, it cost me almost $20,000, not even to buy new weapons. It cost me almost $20,000 in ammunition. So and that was, it's not, I'm playing on my own server. I'm not actually going out and shooting anybody, but it cost me $20,000. So that gives you an idea of the constant, it's not just like a small drain. It is a large sucking sound in your wallet that is constantly draining you. So you can't do anything in that game except missions. Just go from mission to mission to mission to mission. Don't fire a gun out the window, for fuck's sake. And if you do that mission, you have to count every single bullet, and that's fine. But the missions don't end up paying you enough. You get $1,000, $2,000. That doesn't even pay for the ammo that you just used in order to do the mission. Oh, and if you do that mission a second time, the amount of money you get is now halved because they don't want you farming. It's just the economy is broken badly. But I'm playing it anyway. It's like, I don't know why. I don't know why I'm still playing it despite its problems. I'm enjoying it despite its problems because I'm finding ways to enjoy it despite what Rockstar is doing to it. But seriously, if I get any kind of like saying, oh, you can't make money like that by duping the cars, then, if they remove it, that's fine. If they remove that feature, that's okay. But if they actually penalize me for doing that, then yeah, screw it. I'm out. I won't even finish the campaign.
Really?
Yeah. No, I would be mad because Rockstar. It's the same idea as the Total Biscuit thing. It's the idea of fair play.
That's a bit of a stretch. There's a difference between patching a game to take out an exploit and taking down a video and possibly destroying some guy's
No.
YouTube channel.
I'm not comparing it. No, I'm comparing it the concept. I'm just saying the concept of fair play.
Except you specifically admit to using like an exploit.
Right. Because they have created such a broken economy, I am doing my best to try and survive their broken economy in order to enjoy their game. But rather than fixing the economy, you can't blame me for trying to enjoy a game that has something inherently broken that I didn't break. That Rockstar continues to re-break farther and farther and farther.
I just don't feel like you can equate those two.
I think that the idea of fair play is that you have to give. You can't just tell people you can't do something in a game without giving them a legal alternative. If you are creating a game that it is impossible to make money, and in order so that you can sell microtransactions, but then 3 weeks into the game you still don't have the store open for the microtransactions.
It's not impossible to make money. It's a pain in the ass, but it's not impossible.
Nick, it's impossible to make money because
no, it's not.
Yes, because in order to buy armor, just to do a mission, you need to buy armor and you need to buy bullets.
Then you're doing the wrong missions. Don't do the co-op stuff because that doesn't pay very well. Do the races. You don't have to pay anything for that.
True, there is the races, but then it just becomes a racing game.
Yeah, Nick, it just becomes a racing game, Nick.
Yeah, okay. But it's still fun and it's still things and it's still a way to make money and it's not impossible.
It's not impossible. But if you wanted to do, if you do
I understand
co-op
what you're saying, but I think
races, the only way you make money on races is to either you have to finish, but you have to, when you've got a big room full of races, you have to actually finish in the top 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you could conceivably, if you're not very good at racing, which, or you can, a lot of people are doing racing, you could conceivably spend all day and never make a penny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you also won't lose money.
You won't lose money. Well, then why am I there if I'm playing a game and I am not advancing?
That's a very good question.
And they're not making... Right. That's why you go to co-op. But you can't go to co-op because it costs you. You have to buy armor and bullets. Every bullet that you spend is actually unfairly weighted amount of what you actually have. It's the cost of playing the game is unfairly weighted based on the amount of money you get back from playing the missions. Eric Cotton says, has anybody played Beyond yet? I'm sure it means Beyond Two Souls.
Yeah. No, not yet.
Not
it's
yet.
still on my list of things to do because I definitely want to play it.
I heard Ellen Page was very upset about either screenshots or the trailers.
Oh, yeah. The nude thing.
Yeah.
Did we not talk about that?
No.
I guess that there was some debug mode. So, okay. There's a shower scene in Beyond. And apparently the model for Ellen Page is fully modeled nude. But you don't see anything in the actual game because, the camera, the way it's directed. But someone in like a debug mode was able to change the camera angles and took screenshots of her naked. And, put those
not
up. So
her, but her model.
Digital Ellen Page naked.
It's digital, not Ellen Page's body naked.
I don't know.
But with her voice.
Maybe they scanned her body. You don't know.
I doubt it.
But and apparently Sony is like really, really cracking down on it. Even going so far as to ask websites, take down your story about there being a model at all. Like trying to expunge it from the internet completely.
Good luck with that.
And it's just speculation, but people speculate that that's because Ellen Page and her people are like
freaked out.
What the hell is this? And they're getting on Sony's case about it, which would make sense.
So theoretically, they could try to have a takedown notice of this show because we are talking about it.
I don't know. They might ask because if you Google it, I don't think any site has actually taken down the story.
Yeah,
but apparently Sony is is asking. They're going like, "Don't worry, Ellen. We'll ask them." Oh, they didn't. They're not taking it down.
Oh,
we can't do
I'm sorry. We can't do anything about that, Ellen.
But see, this is why you just create models from scratch, because no one is taking down all those Elizabeth nude pictures.
Oh, speaking of which, did you see the link that I sent you?
No.
Of Elizabeth porn?
I didn't know you sent the link.
Oh, I have to find it. Oh my God. Oh my God. I thought it was funny until I saw it. Holy crap. That stuff is not joking. Seriously not joking. I think
Really?
oh, damn it. Now I can't find it. Maybe I sent it to your email. Hold on. I'm trying to find a specific link. Sent. God, I don't know where I found it. But yeah, there was one particular let's see, Elizabeth porn, and what was it called? It was a BioShock. Images.
Also, random, because I just saw him comment in the chat. Thank you, AC Wraith, for giving me Anodyne. Because I guess he got a Humble Bundle, and Anodyne was in that, but he already had it. So he gave me a Steam key.
Oh,
Thank you very, very much.
I can't find it.
That's awesome.
Let me see. No, do not clear the cache.
Why don't you just Google Elizabeth BioShock?
I
Infinite
did, but it was a whole
naked?
page of GIFs, so they were all moving, and it was creepy as hell. Creepy. I mean, it was like Elizabeth taking it from behind and being ejaculated on her face, and like alarmingly
you have to send
good.
That to me now. You have to send.
I know. I'm trying to find it. I really am. Let's see. I'll do all my sent.
Michael O'Connor says, "What's worth about the Elizabeth porn is that she's boning Booker."
Yeah, I saw that.
And if it's the Elizabeth from another dimension, is that still spoiler? Okay, spoiler alert. Is that still incest? I mean, it's from another dimension, but in the dimension.
In theory, I guess, yeah. It is. It would be incest because she is genetically.
That's true. That's true. These are the things future time travelers will have to debate about. And Eric asked when the BioShock DLC coming out. It's coming out in January.
I'm still looking for this thing, so just keep talking.
Doopy doopy doo. Doopy doopy doo. Doopy doopy.
Would you just please do something instead of?
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. You've been listening to the Game House.
Okay, I actually have some nice little things.
So if Booker is doing Elizabeth in his porn, right? Do you think he's saying, "Who's your daddy"?
Why? What's this?
That'd be awesome.
What's this?
Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy?
I'm getting sorry if you guys were hearing stuff. Yeah, you probably were hearing porn stuff. See, that's why I can't look up porn, because it starts to make noise. Were you guys hearing the porn ad in the background? It was
just something popped. We couldn't really hear it.
You guys might not, but it might have been going through out to Spreaker. So in the chat room, were you hearing that woman talking about getting fucked in the ass?
just lay it out there like it is, right?
Yeah. I think that's what she was talking about. It was all
really 0 to 60.
It was all bad. So yeah, I wish I could find that one. Anyway, I can't find the link. So whatever. So
the PS4, you know how it has that light bar on it?
Uh-huh.
If you look at the controller, it has like a light on it that is used to kind of signal who's player one, and maybe used with the camera to like tell where the position of the controller is in space.
Mm-hmm.
The game Transistor, the one from the makers of Bastion, uses that in a pretty cool way. I guess that they. So in that game, you're this woman, you run around with a sword, and the sword talks. And I guess that they were having trouble sort of making people realize that the sword was talking and not like another character or a narrator, things like that. That the sword was a character that was talking to you. So one of the things they did is they took that light, and as the sword talks, the light on the controller is going to blink on and off, kind of like your controller is talking to you. So it has some symbol like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought that's a pretty cool use of this kind of random, kind of dumb addition to the controller.
Mm-hmm. That is not bad. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Found it, by the way.
Good.
You
I
ready?
killed enough time.
All right, there it is. It is in the chat room.
Is it going to have all sorts of spam and pop-ups?
No. It actually
I'd like-
surprisingly does not have spam or pop-ups.
I'd like to point out that the name of this website that you've linked us to is imagefap.com.
All right, so here it is. Drum roll, please. It's pretty alarming, disturbing. I can see why Ken Levine would have issues with this.
Yeah, it's like stumbling across your daughter having sex. Like, wow.
It actually does exactly look like your daughter having sex. I'm really not quite sure how they managed to get that to work that way. But they did. Are you looking at it yet?
You're right. Someone had to create a model.
Yep.
That's actually really good.
I know. That's what I'm saying. It's weird. I mean, I figured it was just like bad pictures of people doing titty pictures.
like Reboot.
Yeah, no, these are definitely not that. It's definitely pictures of these are Elizabeth face maps, that are being used to.
I am genuinely impressed.
All right. Kevin Bulwer said, "How did Ken Levine stumble onto it anyway?" That's a good question. That's kind of
That's why it's so good. He's
Ew.
actually making it.
It would make sense. It's either some of these are very good. Yeah, because I was just expecting kind of amateur stuff or just like, bad cut and pastes, but they're not bad cut and pastes, and they are animated, and they. All right, Jaeger is looking up on the site. Do you guys want me to put? I am putting into the chat room the link. Do you guys want me to put into the link into the chat room? Because it's not good. It's bad things. Bad people go there. Also, I take no responsibility for there being malware on the site. I take no responsibility for this giving you viruses of all kinds. All right. Pissboy says, post it. Let us all see it. All right. You are all now seeing it. And there's multiple pages of it, which is even kind of scarier. Nick and Goalie have gone alarmingly quiet all of a sudden.
So I can't get it to load.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
It's probably because it's full of viruses.
Oh, there's all this other shit popping up now. Yeah. Okay.
I didn't have any pop-ups from it.
Oh, there was one pop-up.
Really?
Yeah. So.
Well,
That's odd.
I seriously don't go to those sites just for that reason.
Yeah. I've never had a pop-up, and I have my pop-ups open because of other sites that I have to go to that I have to have the pop-ups open, so I just leave it open. But yeah, I don't ever see any problems with it getting a pop-up, which is weird. So, let's see other.
Okay, so
news.
random clarification.
Yes.
I guess Sony talking to people wasn't asking them to take down the story about the new model on page. They were asking them to get rid of the links to the pictures.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
even if
makes sense.
Even if it was just like a link to an outside picture, they were saying, please get rid of that. Get rid of all links, even if you're not hosting the picture, don't link to it.
Right. PlayStation 4 is going to support real names.
Oh, wait, never mind.
Oh, what?
Culture site Gaming Blend said it received a similar request from Sony Computer Entertainment, which went so far as to request that the original story be taken down entirely.
Oh, wow. Okay, so they are doing it. Well, they can request. That's all they can do.
Yeah. Never mind then.
PlayStation 4 supports real names at launch. Sony confirms
I know what that means.
the option to be identified by real name will be available at release next month. The PlayStation 4 will allow users to identify themselves by their real names for the system's online service at launch. Sony confirmed today with Kotaku, and it is today. Doing so will be optional. Last week, Microsoft revealed that though it plans to give users the option of identifying themselves by their real names, this feature will not be available at launch. So once again, Sony one-ups Xbox One.
That seems like an odd feature, though.
I don't know. I mean, it's already available on PlayStation 360. I mean, Xbox 360.
I don't care what name they let me use. Let me change my PSN name.
You don't want your PSN name?
No, I think it's dumb.
What
I like
is it?
Elsoft Live. I've gotten used to it. I spent 6 years like there was this one name, and now I'm going to this thing with this other name. It's like that's not
Why
who I
don't
am.
you just go? Because you don't want to switch it.
No, I don't want to switch it because I've played enough on the PlayStation that I have an account. I have games on it. I have.
But you can't
things.
change your name on PlayStation 3?
No, you can't change your PSN name.
Oh,
Create an
that's a good
entirely new
question.
account.
That is a very good question.
Stupid.
And
Anyways, more importantly,
yes,
there's a Dark Souls 2 beta for PlayStation Plus members this Sunday morning at 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
Oh God!
So
No,
I would
wait a minute.
love-
7 to 10 a.m. What time? Which zone?
that's a good question.
Because that's a big difference between Eastern Zone and Western Zone. Because 7 a.m. Eastern would be 4 a.m. Pacific.
I wonder if it's 7 a.m. Japan time.
No, 7 a.m. No, let me get this wrong. 7 a. Let's see. What time is it now? You are ahead. So yeah,
It'd be 4, right?
yeah, it would be 4 a.m. Pacific.
Oh, I would love to play that, but I don't have Plus, and that's way too early for me. Especially on Sunday.
Yeah, for everybody on Sunday. The only reason why to get up that early is for church, and that's because your mom is making you.
That's what I'm looking forward to with the PS4.
Yeah, because what time does church start? Like 9, right? 9 or 10?
Between 9:30 is one and 11's another out here. So you
Yeah,
can-
exactly. Even God knows you don't make something at 7 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday. You
Well,
just,
see, that's God. He's nice. This is Dark Souls. Dark Souls isn't nice. Dark Souls is like, fuck you. You want to play my beta? Get up at 7, bitch.
Wow, what an asshole.
yeah.
I know. That's Dark Souls.
No, you.
Too late.
Microsoft is reportedly testing eyewear. There are sources that say Microsoft has created prototypes for internet-connected eyewear similar to Google Glass. The Kinect designer is reportedly leading the team. Microsoft's next device may be internet-connected eyewear similar to Google Glass, according to people with knowledge of the matter speaking with the Wall Street Journal. One source said Microsoft has spoken with several, quote-unquote several, Asian component makers to supply the company with cameras and other components for the prototype technology. The source said Microsoft's exploration of wearable technology may only be experimental and could never achieve mass production. A leaked 56-page document from June 2012 suggested Microsoft was planning to offer augmented reality glasses for the Xbox One. This technology would be called Fortaleza and is planned to launch sometime in 2014, the document said. The glasses will reportedly run on Wi-Fi and 4G connections. Separately, as multiple sources told GameSpot's sister site ZDNet, that Kinect designer Alex Kipman is leading the Microsoft's effort in the wearable technology sector. Kipman has been spearheading Xbox incubation projects for the last few years, ZDNet notes. Interesting.
That'd be kind of cool. Like a Google Glasses type thing that augments what you're doing in the game. That
Right.
could be neat.
Well, yeah, but also remember that this was a document from June 2012. This was previous to all of the removal of features that came from Xbox One. So it may be that those glasses might not even work without the constant, all the different bells and whistles that they've removed since the announcement.
Maybe, but those things, the backlash was against a very specific thing. I don't think people would complain about glasses.
No, but I think that maybe
it also kind of sounds like
always-on connection. The always-on connection might have been, that they were designing these glasses based on an always-on connection.
And that's still dumb. You can always base it on a. You can just limit and say, "Hey, you need a connection for this."
Right. You must.
It's not that hard to say that. It's not that hard to make something and just say, "Fuck it." Yeah. If you don't have an internet connection, you're screwed.
Oh, and the other thing, did you hear about how much the PS4 is going to cost in Brazil?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. The American equivalent is going to be $1,850 for a PS4 in Brazil. And, of course, people are like, what the hell? But Sony has actually put out, which good for them, good on them, is that they put out a bar graph of exactly why it costs $1,850 to sell it in Brazil. And something like 68% of it is made up of various import taxes. And they break down how much each of the taxes are. Pretty much the base model is, what's the Brazilian currency? Do you know?
Brazilers,
really?
Yeah.
Are you, fuck.
Why not?
Nick, shut up. Look it up. Come on, Braziller boy. Look it up. What is the currency called?
That sounds bad.
In Brazil. Anyway, it was $858
Oil.
Brazilian dollars. Oil. Cigars. Imported illegal cigars from Cuba. That's what it is. The Brazilian dollars is $858.
The
Real. That's what it is. Okay.
Oh, real. Okay.
All right.
Hey, no, it's called real. It's REAL.
It's a real.
It's the real.
It's the real.
Brazil is keeping it real.
It's a real.
Real.
So, the final price in real is 3,999 real, which is equivalent to $1,850 American. So they break it down, and this is all breakdowns in Brazilian real, is that the base price is 858 real. Then an additional 2,524 is all taxes, including an import tax and ICMST, MVA tax, and MCMS tax, PIS tax, PPI taxes, conforms taxes. All these taxes come out to 2,524 real. Then they have to add in the retailer margin and the distributor margin, which is required for Sony Brazil, which is another 875 real. So just the margins are double the price of the actual base price of the transfer unit. So it comes out to 3,999 real. And that's actually...
And I guess the Xbox One is much cheaper, and that's because Microsoft has a manufacturing plant there, so they don't have to pay those import taxes.
Right. Yeah. That's insane.
Yeah.
Nick, we gotta go sell black market Xboxes or black market PlayStations down in Brazil. Seriously.
Ooh, I like that. See, don't worry about the gray market here. That's just pocket change.
Yep.
You want the gray market in Brazil?
That's right. Just take all you have to do.
Let's become game smugglers. I played a lot of Smugglers Run. That's how it's done, right?
Yeah. We could just take a couple of PlayStations down. I'm sure that they've got a limit of what you can import, so you can't make a box of them, but you could take two, probably.
Oh, no. I'm thinking about, getting a truck and driving across the what's it called? The thing that separates country borders.
Oh. I was going to say, the Amazon?
No, I'm talking about driving a truck across the border. I'm talking about getting into the game import business, the game smuggling business. You got drug smugglers, you got
dude, you're better off.
human
You're better off
trafficking.
being a
I'm talking
cigarette.
about
No, you're better off being a cigarette smuggler on the East Coast. Just be a
no,
cigarette
see,
smuggler in New
the-
York City.
illegal game trafficking. There's business here, man.
Yeah, cigarettes. I think it's like $3.50 a pack in taxes up here.
Yeah,
Wow.
well, more than that in
Maybe
New
more.
York.
It's
in New
ridiculous.
York, it's close to $9 of taxes for a $3
Really?
pack of cigarettes. Yeah, it's $12.50 to buy a
my
pack of
God.
cigarettes.
We should get into the cigarette trafficking business.
Yeah, no, they. It's funny. Somebody did a study by looking at cigarette packs because when you have a legal, they've all paid the taxes and everything in a state. Each cigarette pack gets a stamp on it that says that you paid your taxes, a little tax stamp. Well, somebody went around and collected all of the cigarette packs that they could find in garbage cans and everything all around New York City, and to see how bad cigarette smuggling is in New York. And they found something like 70% of packs of cigarettes have been illegally brought into New York and had not paid taxes because in just taking, like, say, the back of your car, something like 10 boxes of cigarettes, which would easily fit into the back of a van, bought in Virginia and then driven to New York City, makes in difference. And then, of course, they sell it to a retailer. The retailer sells it. But those have a value of almost $1 million. Just the back of a van buying cigarettes, buying 10 boxes of cigarettes. It's something like $900,000.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, if you want to get into smuggling, my friend, that's where you're going to go. Buy cigarettes in Virginia and drive them into New York and hope you don't get busted because you will go to prison for that. All they have to do is open up those boxes and see they come from, not have that stamp.
Wow, it's pretty sad.
Jason Webb says this is Nick's Breaking Bad. I think you're right. I've tried cooking meth in Payday 2, and that did not work out well. But cigarette and game smuggling?
What are you in here for?
I see a future there.
I brought a friggin' PlayStation down to South America.
Kevin Bulwer says, I've heard Brazil sells some games for over $300. Oh, my God. Wow. That sucks.
Why would you spend $12 to $14 on a pack of cigarettes? I know it's addicting, and I know this and I know that, but damn, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Especially when you could.
I'm going to do a
it's
cigarette
much cheaper
podcast.
with, like, e-cigarette.
I'm so going to do a cigarette podcast.
You what?
I don't know.
Because clearly cigarette smokers will pay money for anything.
I'm gonna call it Holy Smoke. It's Holy Smoke with Holy Goalie here.
good.
We're talking
That's
cigarettes.
Speaking
of talking, I gotta go and get some leaves done. I got more leaves in my backyard I gotta take care of. So if you guys want to talk games, you guys can talk, but I gotta go to work.
No, I guess it is. We've been going for almost an hour. I was just going to bring up that the DualShock 4 controller can be used to play some games on the PS3, so it's going to be backwards compatible for some games.
Yeah, some. I guess they said that it's kind of hit and miss.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
Well, that's kind of neat, I guess.
Yeah. All right. Well, since Goalie's going, and you know what, I have work to do here, so I might as well go. Anything that you got, Nick? Last closing thoughts?
No.
Really?
He's still looking at that Elizabeth one.
Yeah. What?
What's your opinion of the Elizabeth Warren?
The fun hand. Yeah.
Nick?
I got both fun hands busy.
What's the Metacritic on the Elizabeth Warren?
The Metacritic, critic or player reviews?
Player reviews.
Oh, that's 10. It's always 10.
All right. On that note, we'll close this out. Thank you so much for listening to to Happy Endings episode 26. This is Gamehounds Happy Endings. We do have a regular show if you want to check it out. www.gamehounds.net to find our website. You can email us at gamehounds@gmail.com. As you can tell, Sean Cullen emailed us already, and we put his comment on the air. So just go ahead and email us, gamehounds@gmail.com. We will read your comments as well. If you would like to check us out and subscribe to this show, The Happy Endings, you can go to iTunes. under Gamehounds Happy Endings. And while you're there, you might as well sign up for Gamehounds, the regular show, also on iTunes. If you have both, you'll get all of us all the time. It's more than enough for a week to tide you over. If you would like to check in with us on Facebook, our Facebook page is facebook.com/thegamehounds. And we do have a text line that you can also leave a voicemail. Our voicemail and text line is
304-300-9889.
Nick Gully. We'll talk to you next week. And like I said, if you want to pick up the regular Gamehounds show, it is available in this channel, the Spreaker channel, and on Happy Endings, at least for the moment, before we move it over to our regular Gamehounds feed. So go ahead and pick it up if you want to do that in advance. And then while you're there, you might as well subscribe for iTunes, right? I mean, subscribe for the regular Gamehounds show. All right. Talk to you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Later.